So we said that excretion is the removal of metabolic waste. Now I will give you a short information, brief information about metabolism. Metabolism, as you know, is all reactions in the body, all chemical reactions. So all chemical reactions in the body, all chemical reactions in the cell, we call as metabolism. And if you remember from the cell lesson, we learned that in the cytoplasm, one function of cytoplasm was it's a site of metabolic reaction. So most of the reactions occur in the cytoplasm, which also contain different organelles. And one reaction of metabolism, there are many of them, but I will give you a simple example of what we learned from IGCSE. Photosynthesis is one example of metabolic reaction, such as, you know, that in photosynthesis, if I will write its chemical equation, carbon dioxide and water react with each other with the helping of sunlight and chlorophyll. And of course, aim of this process was to produce glucose, which is food for plants. And they are producing 6 molecules of oxygen. So in this reaction, waste substance is oxygen, because glucose stays in the plants, but oxygen is given out. So if plants through the leaf, let's say this is the leaf, if plants through the leaf release this oxygen, so this is also an example of excretion. So excretion is a removal of unneeded metabolic waste. Or if I will write second reaction, which we learned, respiration, I will write, you know that it is aerobic respiration is opposite of photosynthesis. So in aerobic respiration, we need glucose and 6 molecules of oxygen. They produce 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 6 molecules of water, and they are releasing energy. You know that mostly this energy is ATP, the molecule of energy. This energy mostly is ATP. And if living things like humans release carbon dioxide, you know that we send carbon dioxide through the lungs. So this is also an example of excretion. Or if I will remove water through the skin by sweating, this is another example of excretion. So excretion, don't forget, is the removal of metabolic waste, unneeded waste. Unneeded waste, what's the meaning of unneeded waste? Let's say that you drink milk, and you know that in the milk we have calcium. You store some amount of calcium, some of them you store, but there are excess amount which there's no need to store. So if you will release this unneeded amount of calcium through the, let's say, body, through the skin, through the urine, this is also another example of excretion. So excretion also removes unneeded salts, unneeded minerals from the body. So firstly, let's begin with excretory products. Now I will write the main types of excretory products. Actually, we are grouping them into 4 types. So there are 4 main types of excretory products. One of them is carbon dioxide. Another one is water. Third type of excretory product can be mineral salts. Because mineral salt is the same thing with mineral. It's actually the same thing, mineral salts. And nitrogenous waste. Nitrogenous compounds. So there are 4. Yes, I'm listening now. Yes, what's your question?
What does mean nitrogenous compounds?
Nitrogenous compounds, thank you for asking. There are three types of nitrogenous compounds. From the name, you can understand that they contain nitrogen. So they are related with the nitrogen. Guys, you know that nitrogen mostly taken as protein. So when we eat protein-based food, such as meat, this protein changes into amino acid by the digestive system, by the enzymes, what we call as proteases, such as pepsin in stomach. And these amino acids used in the body for different purposes, such as we are using them to make our muscle, we use them for making of hair, an example, we use them for making of hemoglobin, antibody. But if we have, again, more intake than we need, in this case, they are releasing some waste products in the liver. I will give you an example about information about it. These are known as nitrogenous compounds. And guys, there are 3 types of nitrogenous compounds. They are urea, ammonia, and uric acid. Guys, try to take notes. I think you are also taking the notes. And as I said, I will share the link of recorded video. So by using also video, you can take another notes if you want. There's no problem. Okay, thank you, Maxwell, for the information. So guys, there are 3 types of nitrogenous compounds. They are urea, ammonia, and uric acid. I will give you information about them. Yes.
Yes, thanks.
Yes, of course. We will have another topic, part of the lesson, which we will talk about how they are created, what happens with them. So let's begin with carbon dioxide, guys. Carbon dioxide, you know that.
Mr. Parvis.
Yes, Yusuf.
I'm sorry, may I ask you a question?
Of course,
but
yes.
Don't we have uric acid inside of urea?
Very little amount we have, yes. But our main product is urea. Okay, just as I said, I will give you information. Guys, you know that carbon dioxide in humans, in mammals, produced by one process. This is respiration. We produce carbon dioxide by aerobic respiration, because you know that in anaerobic respiration, we produce only lactic acid. So what happens? Carbon dioxide we produce. And you know that carbon dioxide is acidic substance. It is acidic substance. When it stays in the blood for a while, let's say, it will decrease pH of blood. Decreasing of pH will affect enzymes in the blood. So enzymes can denature, they can lose their shape. So we need to send this carbon dioxide out to keep pH in a needed level. So this carbon dioxide sent out only by the lungs, guys, don't forget. So only lungs participate in carbon dioxide excretion. So we are not using any other organ. Let's talk about water. Water, you know, is also produced by aerobic respiration. This is our second product. At the same time, we know that water is a very important part of our body. There are some living things which can use some amount of water. We also use some amount of this water, guys. Let's say that we need, I will give just an example, 100% of water intake to take it body for the reactions. Okay. Farid, yes, your question about, Farid is asking about enzymes in the blood. Guys, you must know that the pH of blood is 7.4. 7.4. So our enzymes work best in this pH. When pH is decreasing to, let's say, even 7.2, it is very dangerous for us. I remember from the made books that they are saying that if pH will be 7.1, humans will die. 0.3 change. Or if it will be 7 point, an example, 7, again, people will die. So we need always, it is very important for us, you know, keeping pH in a very narrow limit.
But what if it will be 7.3 or 7.5?
7.3 is not a problem, 7.5 also. Like it is, you know, even as I said, there are some books they are saying that 7.2 is dangerous also. But 7.3 is not dangerous. Actually, your brain works according to this pH change. So in A level, you will learn that when pH becomes, an example, lower, let's say that 7.35, This is detected by brain, and brain affects your diaphragm and intercostal muscles for the breathing frequently. So we are breathing faster to send this carbon dioxide from the body out. So water also can be used by the, now I will give you information. So water is sent by different organs. Guys, you know that water is excreted by lungs also, especially in winter, we can feel that water vapor is moving from the mouth. So it means that we release water also by lung, but lung is not only organ. We excrete water by skin or by sweat glands in the form of sweat. Sweat, you know, that is watery substance. Sweating is important for the temperature balance. So when it's hot, we are sweating. But at the same time, sweating is a type of excretion, because by sweating, we send unneeded water and salts from the body. And third organ, which also plays major role in water excretion, is kidneys. They are kidneys. Kidneys are also excreting water in the form of urine. Urine. Guys, do not mix urine with urea. Many students are mixing. You must know that they are different things. Urine is a mixture, like feces, let's say. So in the urine, we have water, we have salts, we have nitrogenous compounds. But urea is one chemical compound, like with one compound. Okay, Kamal, do you have any question? Okay, so if you don't have any question, okay, you can turn off microphone. And camera will be also good if you will turn off, because I will share with you, or maybe you don't want to. Okay. So this is about water, guys. Now let's talk about salts. Salts, as I said, salts mostly, they are created by this way. Let's say that you are taking more salt than you need. Let's say I'm eating more sodium chloride. You know, sodium chloride is table salt, what we are using for meals. So let's say that I'm taking more sodium chloride. This sodium chloride in my body changes into sodium ion, separates into sodium ion and chloride ions, and I will use them in my body, such as for the nerve cells. But if I'm taking more than I need, in this case, my excretory parts, let's say, will send them out, such as which organs are participating in mineral salt excretion. Mostly skin, also important, because in sweat, we have minerals. Maybe you can feel it. In summer, when sweat dries on our clothes, we can see there are white spots, white crystals. These are actually salt. And you know that sweat is salty. Another organ, which is also important for the mineral excretion, kidney. Kidneys are also excrete minerals from the body. If we will talk about removal of nitrogenous compounds, as we said, urea, ammonia, uric acid, in here also, mostly kidneys are sending them out, but some amount by skin, some amount of nitrogenous compounds removing body by skin in the form of sweat again. So sweat also, guys, contains little amount of urea. Probably this is the main reason why people can smell like urine when they are not washing their body in summer, let's say. Let's say that washing body once in a week. In this case, they can have this smell because of the urea. Sabina, what's your question?
Mr. Pervez, is some of the mineral salts stored in our body if not being used?
Mineral salts, of course. Let's say this information. When you are calcium, yes, calcium can be stored in the bones. So we can store calcium, we can store phosphorus, magnesium. But again, if my storage organ, let's say my bone is full with calcium, in this case, there's no need to keep them in the body. Because guys, you know that when crystals, ions becoming more in the body, let's say in the blood, they will make blood concentrated. Blood becomes concentrated, it will take water by osmosis, pressure will increase. This is the reason why people are not eating so much amount of salt when they have hypertension, high blood pressure. So we need to send them from the body out. So we can store again, but after a certain amount, we will send them out because there's no need to keep more than we need. Barrett, I'm listening now.
Yeah, which mineral salts do we release by sweating?
Again, which salts?
Like which type of mineral salts by sweating? Which ones do we
Mostly
release?
sodium chloride will be in the sweat because again, you know, it is white crystals. Like most salts are having white crystals, but from the taste we can feel that it's sodium chloride. Sodium and chloride.
Someone really tasted?
You didn't taste your sweat, an example, when it's coming
No.
from here. Really? Oh, I don't believe actually. Because guys, in summer, especially when we are sweating from here, when some sweat is coming and you can taste, I think. It is disgusting maybe, but it is biological.
Doesn't happen in me.
Ah, okay, very good. So you are lucky. So we finished about excretory products, guys. Don't forget. Yes, Ferret, I'm listening. Another question.
No, I forgot to raise hand.
Okay. So guys, in here they are talking about these types of the excretory products. So if we will go through them, in here they are talking about the respiration. Respiration, we know, of course, produces energy, which living things need. But at the same time, they are producing carbon dioxide and water. Of course, water is not poisonous. It's not poisonous substance, but carbon dioxide, it's not poisonous, but carbon dioxide is dangerous. It is harmful substance because it changes the pH. But you know, there are some substances which can be poisonous or toxic, such as urea or ammonia. You know, they are poisonous. They are toxic substances, and we will send them out. I will give you another information about nitrogenous compounds. Just wait. So respiration, we said what it's making in the body. And as we said, carbon dioxide after respiration sent out by lung. In fish, you know that they will use gills, or some worms, such as earthworm, will use gas exchange surface for the sending these substances out. Or plants, you know that make now photosynthesis and respiration, and each process makes different products, and these products will be sent out by excretion process. So in here, guys, we have definition of excretion. It will be better if you will copy this definition. So excretion is a removal from organisms of the waste products of metabolism, toxic
But you already
materials.
wrote it.
Okay, if you wrote, there's no problem. And substance in excess of requirements. So excretion is the removal of waste products of metabolism or metabolic waste plus toxic materials plus excess amounts of substances, such as salt. Another thing, let's talk about the differences between excretion and ejection. Now I will give you short information. Guys, ejection, you know, ejection was related with digestive system, with the digestion. As you remember, digestion contains 4 steps, actually, or the process of taking food and working with food. Firstly, we take food in the process known as ingestion. Then we are breaking them into smaller pieces by the process of digestion, which is changing into firstly mechanical digestion. Then we are making chemical digestion, which is more important, chemical digestion. Then we will have absorption. Absorption was movement into the blood, and ejection. So ejection is also removal. So because of the removal, students are mixing with ejection and excretion. So both of them are removal processes. But ejection is a removal of undigested substances. You know that by ejection, we remove feces from the body. Feces. And feces contain mostly undigested particles. As you know, this particle mostly was fiber or roughage, cellulose, cell wall of plants. Also in the feces, we had bacteria, which live in our intestine. And also in the feces, we had dead cells. We have dead cells in feces, dead cells of intestine. But excretion, it is also removal, but it is a removal, as we said, metabolic wastes, which are mostly produced in the body. Of course, some minerals we also have, and some toxic substances, nitrogenous compounds. So do not mix these two processes. So in one of them, we eliminate undigested parts. But in excretion, we remove the metabolic waste. Now I will give you information about 12.2, nitrogenous waste. 12.2, nitrogenous waste, guys. First, you must know that when we are saying nitrogenous waste, we are talking about three substances: urea, ammonia, and uric acid. Listen this part carefully, guys. We have 10 minutes for finishing of this session. You know that in Zoom, as a free account, they are giving only 40 minutes. So after 10 minutes, our lesson will finish, but please join again to the second session. Don't forget. So what happens, guys? Let's say that you are taking protein, as I said. Meat, nut, beans, egg are major examples, or fish. This protein, by the digestion in our body, become amino acid. As we said, by the helping of enzymes, what we call as proteases. Proteases. Pepsin, trypsin were major examples. Pepsin produced by stomach, but trypsin produced by pancreas. Then this amino acid enters into the blood by villi in small intestine by the process of absorption. So this amino acid, guys, you know that firstly from intestine, small intestine, goes to the liver, guys. From small intestine goes to the liver. Guys, do you remember what was the name of blood vessel which takes blood from small intestine to liver?
Hepatic portal vein.
Thank you. Yeah, of course. It is hepatic portal vein. It is also in our book, so we need to learn it. So hepatic portal vein takes, let's say, amino acid rich blood, or not only amino acid, you know that it contains high amount of glucose after digestion, or it can contain different vitamins, different minerals. So it's rich with the nutrients, let's say, hepatic portal vein. Hepatic portal vein is coming to the liver, and liver controls, let's say, the level of amount of amino acids. So when you take more amino acid than you need, liver makes this process. Guys, first I will write general structure of, I will draw general structure of one amino acid. So in amino acid, we have central carbon. You know from chemistry that carbon can make 4 bonds. From one side, it binds to this part, COOH. This is in biology known as carboxyl group. This COOH in biology is known as carboxyl group. Carboxyl group. This group acts as acid. It is acidic group. You know, we are saying amino acid. So amino acids are acidic substances because of the carboxyl group. Let's say that they can affect the pH also. Then also carbon attaches with the hydrogen from other side, then binds to NH2 like this one, NH2. As you know, they have also specific name. This NH2 is known as amino group. It is known as amino group. So look, amino acids. So amino because amino group, and acid because of the carboxyl group. So amino acids. And in here, we are writing R. It's the symbolic. Let's say it's a symbol. What's R? R means that it is variable part, like changes between amino acids. It is variable part. We are calling it as side chain. Side chain. Guys, as you remember, there are 20 different types of amino acids. 20 types of amino acids. In all amino acids, this part is constant. This part is constant. It's not changing. The part which is changing in 20 amino acids are only these R's. So only R is changing. And from this picture, you can see that in amino acids, we have 4 elements. Yes, we learned it. As I remember, it was chapter 4. Nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. It is common. These are common for all amino acids. Plus, you know that some amino acids can contain sulfur. Sulfur will be, guys, in here, in our part. Yes, thank you. Sulfur also can be a part of some amino acids. Okay, so what happens, guys? Liver receives this amino acid. And as I said, when there is more amino acid than body needs, liver will make this reaction, this process. Liver separates this nitrogen containing part, this part, separates it, and changes it into ammonia, NH3. Guys, you know ammonia is written as NH3. From chemistry, probably you learned. But you must know one thing. The ammonia, which is created in here in this process, ammonia is highly toxic. It is highly toxic substance. It is poisonous substance and can affect the body. Liver makes another process, changes this ammonia into less toxic, known as urea. So urea is less toxic substance. So I'm repeating again, amino acids by hepatic portal vein come to the liver. Liver controls the amounts when it is more. Liver eliminates, separates NH2 amino group, nitrogen containing part. In our book, they are saying nitrogen containing part from the amino acid. And this nitrogen containing part will change into ammonia, which is very toxic. Liver will convert it to the less toxic, known as urea. So they are asking this question. Urea produced by which organ? Many students again mix it and they are writing kidney. It is incorrect, guys. Urea produced by liver. And you can ask what will happen with this part. Just wait, I will answer to your question. And this part, what we have, guys, this part will change into carbohydrate. And the liver, you know, works with carbohydrates also. It will change into the carbohydrate, and carbohydrate can be stored in the liver or will go to the energy processing. It will give us energy. But now I'm listening.
Yeah, thank you. Like, does the amino group bind with that constant hydrogen to make this ammonia, or how like?
Probably yes. It is. We have hydrogen ions in our body. Probably it will bind with hydrogen ion in this case by making NH3. For making of urea, they need carbon dioxide because urea's formula is not needed. But its formula is this one: CO NH2 2 times. This is the formula of urea, guys. For making of urea from ammonia, our body uses carbon dioxide. And one thing, guys, taking NH2 from amino acid, there is a specific name of this process known as deamination. The name of this process, it's also important, known as deamination. Deamination. So the name of process, don't forget, we have in our syllabus, it is deamination process. So if you finish this part, I'll go to the next information about the nitrogenous compounds.
Ms. Paris,
Yes, sir. Yes.
may you repeat please the definition of deamination?
The deamination is removal of nitrogen containing part from the amino acid. Removal of nitrogen containing part from the amino acid. We have less than 1 minute. Again, I'm repeating. If you see that our lesson finished, join to the second session. Yes, Sabina, I'm listening. I can't hear.
Hepatic portal vein. Do we say that amino acid by hepatic portal vein travel to the liver, and then
Of course.
the excess amino acids in the liver are split up, or like
Yes.
excess amino acids travel to the liver?
No, no, all amino acids are coming to the liver, and excess amount of amino acids go to this process.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's say that I'm just giving an example for better understanding. Let's say this is our liver, guys. And in the blood, let's say, or in the body, amino acid must be 10 milligram. And hepatic portal vein is coming in this